All right, well then, that was a late start. Just gonna go ahead and, excuse me for a second, get right to it. Today I'm doing a Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale. I had one of these last night and it was stupendous. I don't know if it says it on here. It's probably like 12% alcohol, something like that. Does it? No. Anyways. We're gonna have a great night. Woo. Man. Anyways, hi guys, welcome to Drunk Crypto. Again, I am alone. Gonna go ahead and do the stream by myself. Let's see what we got here. So I saw a tweet earlier today that I did not look into yet because you know I like to wait for you guys. I'm gonna go to, let's see here. I'll bring you with me in a second. Just pulling up XYO's Twitter, which apparently XYO network changed its name to just XYO, which that's cool, I guess. Okay, something about satellite update. Boop, boop, boop. Cool. So apparently I saw someone else talking about December. They're launching a satellite. So I'm going to just kind of bring you guys on over with me. Let's see here. So here's where that tweet ends up bringing you to the medium for XYO. Let's see here. So it is launching via SpaceX. They are calling it EtherX. And here's another little logo that says spaceflight. I don't know what that is. So December of this year. So SpaceX Falcon Heavy rockets going to launch with it. They're going to start doing more monthly updates. Cube seat. So they're launching in December, which is very far away. That's literally the end of the year. So they are just scraping by with the whole 2019 claim, which, I mean, technicality, it's true. Unless there's a delay, then that's kind of... Anyway, so December, I don't know why in my head it seems so much closer than it is. We're literally in January right now. That's crazy. It's about the size of a tissue box. They're working with a company to build it, so it's not built yet. The cargo for that satellite will be software to communicate with other satellites. Okay, so it says EtherX acts as an XYO sentinel. EtherX communicates with other satellites that use their software. These other satellites communicate with bridges and sentinels on Earth. So is this the satellite? Is that literally it? Decentralized space. I'm sorry. I don't understand. I don't know what the purpose of all this is. So are they launching a satellite or are they launching a little box? Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're launching a satellite or a little box anymore. I thought it was a satellite, but I guess based on the technical definition of what a satellite is, just a thing that's orbiting in a geostationary manner. Perhaps technically that is a satellite. I don't know. What I do know is, wow, that stuff does the thing. Really great stuff. Had some yesterday. Just figured it would be great for the live stream. I like to do a new thing each time. So anyways, I'm gonna pull up some other news here, and we're gonna go. All right. Looks like Bitcoin USD is around 36 or 37. Sorry, regular numbers. 3,600 to 3,700 right now. And here we are on CCN. So, Ethereum did postpone their hard fork, their Constantinople, or as I like to call it, the Istanbul fork. Someone out there at some point might get that joke and comment about it. But so apparently, this is of 3 hours ago, so I'm actually kind of interested in this. Apparently, they postponed the hard fork, which we all knew about a few days ago. And some miners didn't listen. Let's see what they mean about that. So, all right. So before we get into it, the reason why they postponed the hard fork was they were working with an outside, like an external auditing company to do like pen testing, penetration testing, like just different. You could call it like white hat hacking. Of the new proposed like changes that they were making, and apparently because of the lower gas fees, it's possible to use the gas that you weren't going to use previously to do something to the network. I don't fully remember exactly what it is, but it was a security risk, and it would I don't know exactly what it was doing to the network, but it was allowing smart contracts to be paid out without one or more of the parties knowing. So that's obviously not good. So on January 15th, Ethereum's developers put out a security alert that they were postponing the scheduled Constantinople upgrade. Not everyone made the appropriate changes, however, and there is currently a parallel universe of Ethereum mining. A chain split has occurred, and some miners are mining the unofficial Constantinople chain without consensus from the majority of the network. The delay came after potential vulnerabilities were discovered in one of the new upgrades. So let's see here. Okay, so it would have occurred yesterday. They're postponing it. Obviously, we just talked about that. 10 terahash per second worth of mining power is still mining the unofficial chain as of at least 3 hours ago. So that is interesting. So the vulnerability in question allows for a peculiar form of scamming, which it takes some degree of sophistication to understand. The bottom line is that a change in the way Ethereum charges for storage enabled an attack that could cost a lot of money to various dApps. A re-entrancy attack is specific to smart contracts. It's not the same as a replay attack or a double spend. It is a unique problem. Chain Security, who uncovered the flawed code, explains it this way. Okay, so let's see that in a second. So Chain Security is that the outside auditing company that I was mentioning that apparently found through penetration testing or whatever method it was. Says here, there must be a function A in which transfer send is followed by a state changing operation. This can sometimes be non-obvious An example is a second transfer or an interaction with another smart contract, or presumably maybe an oracle as well. 2, there has to be a function B accessible from the attacker, which A, changes the state, and B, whose state change, B, whose stated, nope, Drunk Crypto, B, whose state changes conflicts with those of function A. Okay, so that's why it's very, very specific of how the attack can work, because that would be weirdly written in the Ethereum code for the function, like for part B, like whose state changes the confliction, whose state changes conflict with those in function A. That you normally wouldn't have an A and a B function that conflict with each other. And then function B needs to be executable with a specific amount of gas. So in this instance, it's 1600. So, okay. So again, it's not a vulnerability with the blockchain itself, but it is better to be safe than sorry, according to Ethereum's official blog, which says security researchers like Chain Security and Trail of Bits ran and are still running analysis across the entire blockchain. They did not find any cases of this vulnerability in the wild. However, there is still a non-zero risk that some contracts could be affected. Okay. Oh wow, so here's something interesting. I assume so because it would literally be a chain split. So I mean, you're gonna have to figure out what to do with those ETH that are being mined that aren't a thing. Maybe the person is mining it in hopes that other people will want it for some reason, which will bring us into our next story, actually. Things that people made that for whatever reason other people might want. So let's take it back to the bar for a second so I can get ready. I'm going to pull up another story. So apparently there is, we're just going to read this news story here. Apparently there is a new coin going around calling itself XRP Classic or XRPC. Crazy, just crazy. So this news story is apparently it came out yesterday. It's about XRP falling victim to 2 elaborate schemes, but I would presume this has something about XRP Classic in here. Yeah, it sure does. Okay. I'm just going to go from the top here. So, let's see. Okay, so I heard about this, but I didn't really look too much into it because the guys at Ripple are really smart, and I'm sure they had like ways around it. So we're actually going to learn about this together. There was some speculation or some talk about something about like a hostile takeover when it came to XRP and like just some dirty tactics and whatever. So let's see here. So okay, so it says here, originally launched in late 2017 by Vishal Harpalani. That's the last time I'm going to say that last name. Who previously spent 3 years working with early Ripple investor Flight Ventures. The original plan was to raise USD 160 million through an initial coin offering for a new cryptocurrency that would become a widely distributed source of stored value in developing countries, as well as partner with mobile wallets and mobile carriers that do business with the underbanked. However, this plan has failed, and investors didn't see the point of it. So that guy that I mentioned was reportedly decided, or had reportedly decided, that the next logical step in his plan should be a hostile takeover of XRP. Now, according to Axios, the guy that I mentioned previously has confirmed that he's working on a hostile takeover of a top 10 cryptocurrency, but did not name XRP specifically. As for the technicalities behind such an event, Valor would try to raise tens of millions of USD to short XRP, driving down the price. Then it would create a fork of XRP's network whereby willing XRP holders, except for Ripple, would receive one Valor token for every XRP token, going on to distribute even more Valor tokens and incentivize users to get rid of the now devalued XRP. Let me tell you something about that plan, boy. Terrible plan. So yeah, like I said, nobody at Ripple is concerned. David Schwartz, the brain behind the XRP ledger, a cryptographic ledger which is the home of XRP, openly laughed at the idea, tweeting, "This is amusing. A hostile takeover of the XRP ledger is not technically possible, nor does this plan make economic sense." CEO Brad Garlinghouse went a step further, calling out the Axios article author Dan Primack on Twitter. Dan Primack wants to sell some snake oil. Any buyers out there? Media have a responsibility to help the industry understand what's hype versus substance, not to propagate blatant attempts at market manipulation. When will media coverage of this industry mature? That's true. It's, you see a lot of, and it goes to show with, you know, the people covering you know, the Ethereum Classic attacks in kind of like a "see, I told you" kind of way. Like, I mean, yeah, we know that 51% attacks are possible, but we should be talking more about how to prevent them going into the future rather than what we're doing now. Just talking about how they happened. And, you know, I wrote a blog article on the Bits and Tokens website about the attack, and that, you know, this is something that is possible and we need to be aware of. But the reason I wrote the article was specifically because Coinbase, at the time of writing, had suspended the movement of Ethereum Classic. So I was just trying to advise people not to try to move it around or try to buy it at that point, because it was uncertain what was going to happen. I think now you can still buy Ethereum Classic on Coinbase, as they remained unaffected from that 51% attack. But initially, it seemed as though you know, we weren't sure what was going to happen, whether this was going to be something like a sustained attack that was going to keep going on. So I just wanted to mention to people, don't worry about trying to buy ETC right now, because if your goal is to end up, you know, cashing out via Coinbase, that wasn't possible at that time. Anyways, I do think that the media in this space does need to mature a bit and not try to sensationalize things that shouldn't be sensationalized. With that being said, this next story here, XRP Classic. So, funnily enough, it starts by saying the woes of Ripple and their XRP coin hardly end here. A so-called XRP Classic coin emerged on December 24th. The Ethereum-based coin, quickly labeled as a scam by XRP supporters, even had its own crypto price tracker on CoinMarketCap at some point, although it has been removed in the meantime. I'm glad that that's been removed, because it literally was there for a while. So it doesn't just borrow XRP's name. The coin also took Ripple's logo in orange and has a website that describes XRP Classic as a decentralized, accessible blockchain and cryptocurrency infrastructure that will offer crypto investors an automated trading system. But their white paper paints a different picture. So the website says one thing, the white paper says another thing. Obviously, that's a scam, or just something that's not really planned to have any value in the future or any legitimate development towards the future. So the other thing is taking the Triskelion, I believe is what that Ripple logo is called. Really want to Google it now. Yes, so it is Triskelion, the Ripple logo. Gosh, I know things about stuff, man. That's cool. Anyways, literally just took the logo and picked probably a font you can get from Canva that really looks like Impact, the font Impact. No, that one's a little bit more cartoony than Impact. Anyways, but yeah, so it looks like just a basic, comic book style cartoony font with the same Triskelion logo, like the actual same logo. That's crazy. So Xrp Classic is a modern-age freelance marketplace created with the aim to resolve all such issues faced by traditional freelance industry and enable seamless, risk-free connectivity between freelancers and buyers at minimal cost. It serves as a state-of-the-art peer-to-peer marketplace for offering and hiring services without involving a middleman, and allow them to create potential long-term collaborations with freelancers, getting a fair share for their efforts while buyer getting quality work at optimal rates. So if they copy that directly from there and didn't type it up themselves to make that typo, that's another thing. I will not invest in anything that has typos. Bad grammar, I won't do it. You can give me run-on sentences galore as long as there's commas in the places that they should be, but bad grammar, anytime you see someone that's typing the word am instead of I'm, not doing it. It's not going down like that, not with me. That's a big tip-off that you're not a native English speaker, because I can understand I'm and am and how people would get that confused based on the different languages. So you'll find that common with people learning English that previously knew Spanish, and then for some reason a lot of honestly, I'm not sure what I don't think Indian is a language specifically, but people that come from India also tend to say am instead of I'm occasionally. I'm not saying that's like a generalized thing, just the scammers, that's kind of one of the grammar mistakes I noticed that they make coming from those two regions. I'm sure other regions also, but I've noticed just a ton of them coming from there that make those mistakes, and it's just one of the things that I look out for. Here's another thing. Addressing scam rumors by saying that you're not a scam means that you're a scam. If you see someone who has a Twitter bio or an Instagram bio that says 100% real, not a scam, they're a scam, because that it just doesn't, like, why would you even do that? Why would you have, like, it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to have that there. If you're not a scam, let the customer review speak for itself. That's it. On the Bits and Tokens website, it doesn't say, hey, we're not a scam, blah, blah, blah. No, we have customer reviews that come from Google that you can verify on Google. Like, it just doesn't make any sense when people say that. So, dear customers, we are not fake. We are real, and we are working real. Okay, again, bad grammar, I can't do it. I cannot. I don't like it. I don't like it. Our team are highly educated and knowledgeable. That sentence is constructed poorly. Soon we listing new exchange. Again, horrible grammar. So, comma, don't worry and make business with us, comma. There is some fake people, blackmailer. They already send spam emails. Enjoy. And I feel like I read that very well for how I'm feeling right now. This is a true statement. So what's for sure is that Xrp Classic has carved itself a place in the competition for the worst scam or best trolling project of 2019, and the year has not even fully kicked into gear yet. In either case, it made some members of the Xrp community go into caps lock mode this week. Here's another thing, though. Here's another thing, right? So CoinMarketCap, I have a thing about CoinMarketCap. They do this a lot. Like, they'll list like whatever and not even worry that people look to them to try to like figure out, what's like new, like as far as like new coins that come out or tokens or what have you. And like they will literally almost list whatever. Apparently they may have taken it down. I'm not sure. I don't go to CoinMarketCap a lot. Okay, so apparently they did take it down. Cause I was on here the other day and it really was on there, and I was just like, you guys are weird. But anyways, if you want a better place to get your crypto market cap type information, you'll just want to go right on over to yahoo.com. I will admit, I do like the theme of yahoo.com because it obviously follows Google's. Oh man, I'm blanking out with the cards. The one my website is done in. Whatever. Kentucky Bourbon Ale. But it, you know, it could display a little cleaner. Like it could recognize my screen size and kind of scale me down a little bit to display a little cleaner. But other than that, I really do much prefer this. It gives true market cap. So that's what I got to say about that. Anyways, go back here real quick. The last piece of advice this is giving you is do your research before trading and trust nobody. And then we're presented with this nice little Ledger Nano X advertisement. Now, if you're looking for a Ledger Nano X, I can definitely say I am very interested in the device. I do not currently have one. I have not currently ordered one. However, it is something that I am very seriously interested in. Essentially, it just boils down to not having the money available right now to make the purchase and be able to justify it for the business, as we do currently have this ledger. And while it is much more convenient to get the new ledger, I can't justify it as a business owner, and that's just kind of something on me. But I would definitely recommend the upgrade, so much so that there is a link in the description right now for you if you want to purchase your own. It'll take you right to the Ledger website. Boop, boop, boop. You get one in the mail. From what I understand, they still have the Founders or the Genesis Block Edition available. So that might be a nice keepsake for you. So just something to think about. I do really like the new Ledger Nano X. Very nice Bluetooth. So there's going to be an app for your phone for it. You can have over 100 apps on there. The apps, you know, like with the regular Ledger, you have to delete apps every so often to get new apps if you have a new coin or token that you're trying to store on there, what have you. But really not like a super big deal because, you know, it's easy to manage from the Ledger Live software. But in a pinch, it just makes a lot of sense because you can just load it with, you know, 50 of whatever the coins are that you're planning on keeping on there, or you might keep on there, whatever the case may be. If you're a business and you start accepting whatever, you know, cryptocurrency it is, you can already have it just ready to go, even if you don't have any of those coin for some of them. So it just makes sense, like, in that regard, because it's not as involved. You're not having to do so much management of it. It just kind of just works. And so with there being an app as well, I'm curious to see if you'll be able to update the actual software via Bluetooth as well, or if that's going to have to be like a plug-in thing. It might make sense that you would have to do it, you know, plugging it into a computer, but really nice device. Really nice. The screen on it is nicer. Everything is just nicer. It's just a nice device. Still a very nice, sleek, slim, and form factor. So, you know, might be good to pick up. Again, link is in the description for that. Let's take it back to the bar here for a second so I can check and see some comments, because I have definitely been ignoring the chat if there is one. All right. Looks like we've got Peter with us. Sorry for ignoring the chat there. I definitely want more XRP as well. Um, if you're saying that you don't think it's legit, if you're referring to the XRP Classic, no, definitely not. So what's up? Thanks for joining the chat. Really appreciate that. Thanks for watching as always. Hope you are enjoying something. Maybe not something as stiff as this, because this is doing the job right now. All right, so I'm just gonna jump on over to Cointelegraph and check out what we got going on over there. Not seeing anything that I would say is like really, really important news. Okay, we have this is cool. So the Circle Consortium. No. Yes? No. Circle's one company, Coinbase is another company, and they have some consortium between them. But Circle releases a third audit report of stablecoins USDC's dollar reserve. So apparently, of stablecoin USDC's dollar reserve. So apparently, they are releasing regular audits, just like they said that they were going to do. That's weird. I mean, we're not used to that in the stablecoin world, right, Tether? Man, oh man. I've always talked about how I like USDC as a stablecoin. One of the super benefits of it is, let's say I'm trading whatever on Binance. I can trade, in a lot of cases, that thing that I'm trading for USDC or to XRP, BTC, ETH, whatever, and then trade it to USDC. And then when I cash out via Coinbase, Coinbase gives me exactly $1 for every USDC I have. Really convenient. It makes the math easier. No fees when you're cashing out either. They'll take it back at the dollar without fees, and then sending it to your bank. You know, again, my bank transfers very next day, sometimes same day, honestly. If I start a bank transfer in the morning, you know, 1 a.m., what have you, I'll usually get it by 5 p.m. So Coinbase, fantastic job on that. USDC, I think, is a winner in my book. You're not going to make money. Obviously, it's worth $1. The whole goal is for it to stay $1. But as far as a stable coin, that's my favorite right now. But not just because Coinbase is a really cool place to buy crypto and sell crypto, and it's one of the first places we all learn about, but because of the way that it works, they don't mint new ones until someone buys new USDC from them. So it just, I like the whole concept of it. It's what a stable coin, if anyone did a stable coin right, it's Coinbase. And I do like TUSD. No, USDT? No, TUSD is the one that's not Tether. I do like them, but I like USDC way more. So if that's, you know, if stable coins are your thing and you like to put your money in stable coins to get out, I like USDC. So I'm gonna bring you guys over here just to show you this like funny picture. So obviously this picture, maybe if you're not, you know, you haven't been trading for a while, it doesn't really mean anything to you or make sense to you, but we've got a bear and a bull over here on kind of a seesaw, but this represents a coin, and then the inner stuff in there, I guess, would represent kind of like a blockchain or some type of a ledger network. You always see that the circles and the lines, and they're doing all sorts of stuff. And like, look here, we got circles and lines doing all sorts of stuff like that. Whenever you see that, that represents like blockchain technology, whatever. So we got a bull and a bear over here, just kind of on a seesaw or a teeter-totter, whatever you know it as, and no one's winning. They're just kind of stagnant because the volume and price action has been really low, which is not really a bad thing because that means that a move in one direction or another is kind of imminent. We did go down a little bit there previously, but it looks like some markets are on their way. I don't want to say back up, but we did come back up from where we went down to. If you look across the bottom, you'll see all the current prices. Really, no one's really moving. We got Bitcoin Cash at 2.1%, EOS at 2%, Tether down a negligible amount. Litecoin is up 1% or 1.6%. BSV, which I don't really care for, not up by anything really. Cardano down by 1.7. Tron up by 3.3. Tron's another one that I'm gonna probably add more into my portfolio soon, just because I gave them a lot of flack in the beginning, and we're still kind of at the bottom ish for Tron. I gave them a lot of flack in the beginning because Justin Sun liked to make announcements about announcements. So tomorrow I will announce that I'll make an announcement someday. Like, it's just, and it was, for the longest time we couldn't really get a clear picture of what the heck they were trying to do. I think their position, as long as things just keep moving in the way that they're gonna, or the way that they have been, I think Tron, as a foundation, their position is pretty solidified at this point in the crypto world. That is a project that a lot of people know about. TRX is a coin that a lot of people trade, and the Tron blockchain is, projects are being developed on it. They basically, I don't want to say they copied Ethereum because a lot of this stuff is open source anyway. But they do a similar thing to what Ethereum does, in that people can develop their project as a Tron project instead of an ETH, based project. Now, obviously, you'll have more ERC20 wallets out there, but regardless, you can still build other things on the Tron network that you can't build on Ethereum. So a pretty cool coin in my example, or in my opinion, and I think that it's going to be something that lasts for a while. So might be something to look into if you're looking to add something to your portfolio. Obviously, you do your own research. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I did give Justin Sun a lot of flack in the beginning because there was just so much going on. And I used to love Tron, and then I didn't really like Tron so much, and now I'm kind of coming back around. But the timing seems right, the pricing seems right, so definitely might get in there and get myself some more TRX soon. Again, not really a whole lot of news. It's really been kind of a boring, flat sort of, news week here. Not really seeing anything super important there, so I'll probably wrap up the stream here. I thank everyone for joining. Let me go back to the bar here and just say my parting words. All right, so here we are back in the bar. Pete wants to know if I went to the gun store. I did go to the gun store. I don't want to turn this into like a whole gun thing on YouTube here. Maybe I'll make a separate channel for gun stuff. But I did go to the gun store, Pete. I picked up a new Fabrique Nationale. Really like FN as a company, and added a nice little piece to my collection. Got a very, very good deal. It was actually a buddy of mine's store, so everything worked out great. He took great care of me. And yeah, definitely got a nice piece for a good deal, a really good deal. I like shooting and whatnot, so I might make a separate YouTube channel for that stuff. We're gonna keep it crypto over here, but thanks for asking. Thanks for noticing and reading, my ramblings and whatnot. The satellite thing, I think you're talking about XYO. So I did mention that in the beginning of the stream. It's gonna be in December, and it looked like it was a little cube thing. I'm gonna bring it up for you, just so you can get that. So they're literally calling it cube seat. I don't know why that is. Anyways, so it's not built yet, but they want it to be around this size, the size of a box of tissues, and it's gonna talk to other satellites. I'm not sure if it is a satellite or if it's just a cube, but apparently it's gonna mesh with other satellites, and they're gonna decentralize space. And what any of that means, I don't know. I don't know what it means to decentralize space. I really don't. It seems pretty decentralized to me as is, because it's just space, and yeah. So it's a little tiny device apparently that they're gonna launch, and it might be on board a satellite or it might not. I don't know exactly how the logistics are working out, but I'm pretty sure they're launching a little device that's gonna be on a satellite, but not specifically launching the satellite themselves. Maybe it's like an Uber pool. We got to stop and pick up some other passengers, and cube seat's one of them. Maybe that's a good analogy. I'm not exactly sure, so don't take my word for it. But I'll stay in the XYO group and look into it and see what people are saying. But everyone's saying December is when the launch is going to be. It's apparently going to be in Florida. So maybe I will go up and cover it live. It might not be drunk crypto, because I don't know how they feel about alcohol around, rockets and whatnot. But we'll see what happens. Invested in XYO, but I'm kind of worried. I'm right there with you. Equity holder. Got the equity in the bits and tokens name. So definitely we do hold equity in XY, which, literally could go either way. As far as the XYO currency, yes, what they're doing is a thing that needs to be done. As far as satellites and space and all that good stuff, I don't know about that. I do know that GPS on land could be better. Dare I say, could even be replaced. Tracking things and people and vehicles and stuff is definitely a market. With them being in the FedEx incubation program, that shows a little bit of good faith, because that they do want to start tracking, packages and all sorts of stuff. And so if implemented properly, a fantastic idea, a fantastic business model. And again, that's if it's implemented properly. There is another token or coin, I'm not sure, I haven't really done all the research that I should have on this company, but foam.space is the website. So foam space is trying to also decentralize GPS. They have a similar concept or idea to XYO. I will say this: XYO spends more money making sure that people know who they are, and that sometimes, fortunately or unfortunately, is the deciding factor. So really, I don't know which way it's going to go, but I do know that the concept is something that needs to be done, and so that's one of the reasons why I do like XYO. So if they can be the ones to pull it off, then we'll see what goes on there. Other than that, I had a great time chatting with you all here, and I hope everyone enjoyed the live stream. Should have our normal cast and crew here soon. Been the last 2 live streams have just been me, and as gorgeous as I am, I know you guys get tired of my face. So hopefully next live stream, which will be Sunday 9:30 p.m., I will have our other host, our co-host, my co-host, your host, Annalise should be back. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't ask a whole lot of questions. So that's that. And this is great. And you all have been great. And I'm going to go now.